I don't even know what to say. Um, I thought it was going to take a lot longer than it took to reach 10,000, but all of you got out the vote with 10,000 tweets. And so here is the first of my promised Star Wars recaps. These things are obviously going to be long, so I'm going to start with the prequel and work my way from there. Be sure to look out for the other videos, but a promise is a promise. So here now is the prequels as recapped by one Olaf. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, there was a master and a Padawan, and they met with two somewhat racially insensitive envoys to discuss what any people with incredible supernatural powers would be sent to discuss: trade negotiations. Let's just say it doesn't go well. But thank goodness for them, Master Qui-Gon and young hot Obi-Wan, soon to be midlife but still hot Obi-Wan in Disney Plus's limited series spinoff, have the ear of a seemingly good and not at all familiar man who's named Palpatine. Our heroes are sent off by a council of Jedi, including Uncanny Valley Yoda and Master Mace Windu, to find and protect Queen Amidala, also known as Padme, who has her own Melania Trump-style body double who will one day escape the backwoods of Coruscant and explore the wide oceans with Jack Sparrow. Our heroes unite with a walking Happy Meal named Jar Jar Binks, who teaches them that syntax is only a suggestion. Together, they make their way to a dusty planet where they find a special child named Anakin, who is the product of a working-class woman and her one-night stand with magic dust particles. This child may indeed be the chosen one, but first he will have to secure his freedom from a somewhat racially insensitive, flying abusive overlord in a race that will one day be an option on Star Tours. Young but sulking Anakin wins and leaves behind his naked friend C-3PO, the Forrest Gump of the droid community. But just as they think they are in the clear, Darth Maul appears and shows them what 1970s cinema couldn't: a double-sided lightsaber. Maul is defeated for now, but his master has other tricks up his sleeve. Our queen and young Anakin begin harmless flirtation as Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan foreshadow that young Anakin will be very important for the remainder of the franchise. After a vote of no confidence, some political intrigue, a war with Gungans, and some goofy antics from a droid army who clearly don't take their mission very seriously, our two marquee stars battle with Darth Maul as a children's choir sings behind them. Maul is mauled, and as his body is cut in half and falls down a zero-gravity vacuum chute, his fate is clear. He will be glued back together and have his revenge across numerous animated series spinoffs. As we celebrate the death of Darth Maul and mourn the loss of Qui-Gon, whose death is foreshadowed in the soundtrack listing for the film, we end on a high note as Anakin celebrates alongside a very kind and generous man named Palpatine. But now that the menace has phantomed, it's time for clones to attack. An older but still sulking Anakin has now partnered with Obi-Wan. Together they fight on the mean streets of the Blade Runner franchise and meet an assassin who wants to kill the queen. But Anakin stops this would-be assassin, because if there's one thing harder to kill than an assassin, it's Anakin's libido. Anakin is struggling now with his feelings for Amidala, along with his feelings for Sand, which he just doesn't like. Computer Yoda knows that this will lead to hate and future memes. But foreshadowing be damned, Anakin's mother is left for dead, and Anakin is pissed off. Meanwhile, Obi-Wan travels to an oceanic industrial plant, which is cloning fan favorite Boba Fett's father over and over again. Our heroes find themselves on a planet with monster gladiator games and are forced not only to fight to the death, but watch as their beloved Amidala has an unnecessary and provocative costume change. There they fight Count Dooku, Yoku, as Yoda shows off what a wise Jedi can do with modern computer technology. They defeat the bad guys, and as they are joined by a group of clones who have no ill intent, we are victorious. Anakin and Padme marry on a planet reminiscent of Italy, where C-3PO and R2-D2 are there to bear witness and collect their day rates. Clones be damned. Some Sith want revenge. Obi-Wan and Anakin rescue Palpatine from General Grievous, a merchandising bonanza who also happens to fight. Anakin is reunited with his wife Padme, where we learn that even in wartime, a little bum chicka bow bow never hurts. That's right. Padme has a little bun in the oven. Anakin, meanwhile, lacks a father figure, and like any would-be celebrity psychopath, finds that love in the Roy Cohen of his generation, Shreve Palpatine. The Council has their suspicions that Shreve is up to no good, but Master Manipulator-in-Chief Palpatine makes Anakin his spy. The Supreme Chancellor, over a lovely night at the opera, shares familiar bonding moments between fathers and sons, like conversations on how to cheat death, etc. Anakin is a little taken back, so he finds the one person who can fight with a purple lightsaber and confides in him. Jedi Mace Windu overcomes 2 movies with minimal dialogue and finally puts his screen presence to use by using his powers for right. But now there's no turning back. It's time for Order 66, as Anakin has betrayed his master. Yoda was always right about him. Order 66 is kind of like Route 66, but instead of beautiful winding roads, it's a bunch of talented kids and adults being executed by those they've come to trust. Obi-Wan is rightfully pissed off. Padme is shook. How can you not be? She's Prager's, and now she has to deal with this? With this? Obi-Wan knows what he must do. He must go to the most expensive location he can find and fight Anakin on a volatile and inhospitable surface until one or both of them suffers third-degree burns. Anakin, whose life could have been so different with 1 day a week of counseling, falls onto the lava. Obi-Wan shouts nice things at him, explaining why he had to cripple his handsome body before leaving him to writhe in pain. Thankfully, Anakin falls under Palpatine's health plan, and while others in the galaxy would immediately die from the same fate, Anakin is medevaced to a state-of-the-art facility and given access to therapeutics, respirators, and his very own badass ventilator, proving that when you elect the wrong people, healthcare is not a right, it's a privilege. As Padme dies of a broken heart, having lost the sociopath of her dreams, she gives birth to 2 little tykes who will now go on to carry their own franchise, even though it was filmed before this one. Yoda makes his way to Dagobah, where he will become a puppet, and Obi-Wan goes into exile, where he will wait for the cameras to start rolling on his new Disney Plus spinoff. And for now, the only thing that remains constant is the music of John Williams. See you soon.